I've recently found the one. It's put a spring in my step, sun shines a little brighter, I've got this stupid grin on my face all day. We've been doing the online thing for a while, but today we saw each other in person for the first time. We got a new camera at the studio, and I'm sure you can relate. The honeymoon period is real and delightful. But if you think you're gonna take that camera and go out and shoot your first job right away, then slow it down, cowboy. You'll be using this camera a lot. So before you ride off into the sunset, take a moment to set it up. Get your bearings, check your saddlebag. Too many cowboy references? Fair enough. Let's dive into the 10 things you need to do to get your new baby ready for a shoot. First up, as soon as you unpack everything, throw that battery on the charger. We don't want to be running out of power while we're setting up the camera. Then you'll want to register your camera's warranty with the manufacturer. People often forget about this until it's way too late, so go do it right now and you can sleep easy. When you're registering your warranty, it's also a great opportunity to write down the serial number of anything new that you got. This could be the camera body, the lens, or even a flash. I save them in my password management app, which for me is 1Password, but save it anywhere that's easy to access and secure, most important part. And if you're a professional photographer, this is also a great time to update your insurance provider with your new gear and also remove any old gear from your insurance list. Now, I know you probably got a little bored with insurance, so listen up because the next step is really important. Update your firmware, people. You gotta do it. Depending on when your camera was released, it might have new firmware. This might have new features, bug fixes, or security updates. Just head over to the manufacturer's website and type in your model, and in the support section, they're gonna have all the latest firmware. You just gotta check the firmware on your camera in the menu and see if you have the latest version, and if not, just follow the instructions online to update the firmware. Almost everything has firmware these days, so make sure you check the firmware across all your gear. Even lenses and flashes have firmware updates. So double check that you're all up to date, and if possible, register with the website to receive updates for when new firmware is released. All right, now it's time to actually use the camera. Let's get our hands on it. I like to take a long stroll through the camera's menu system. Basically, go through the entire menu, and if there's anything new or that you just completely don't know what it does, take a moment to look it up and learn a bit about it. The point isn't to memorize every single feature, but just get a feel for what's possible with your camera, and when you need something, you'll know roughly where to look. Now, when you're going through the camera menu system, there's a couple settings I like to kind of double check right away and set my defaults for them. These are the kind of raw JPEG settings to make sure you're getting raw files. Also double check the color profile, make sure it's Adobe, not sRGB. And also make sure you add in your copyright info so it's written into the metadata of your photos. Next, let's take a moment to set up the custom menu. I think pretty much every camera system supports custom menus. It's usually indicated by a star, either at the beginning or the end of the kind of menu, table of contents, let's call it. And essentially, you get to go through and create your own custom menu. Now, a lot of people never do this and they always go hunting for those kind of settings they go back to again and again, but you don't need to do that. That's a huge waste of time. Just take the settings that you use most often and add them into the custom menu, and that way you'll be good to go. Everything you need will be right in one place and easy to access. It saves you a lot of time and makes using your camera much more pleasurable. Now we're nearing the end, so let's dive out of the menu and check out the physical buttons on the camera. You're going to want to go through all of the buttons and get a feel for what they do, where they're located, and if there's any button that you're not sure about, look it up in the manual. You can probably also set custom buttons on your camera, so if that's something you already know that you want, it's a great time to set those right now, or you can set those up as you start to use your camera and learn what settings you use and what buttons go unused, so you can replace them with more useful features. With the buttons sorted, it's time to adjust the diopter. What's the diopter? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's this little dial on the side of your viewfinder, and essentially it helps adjust the viewfinder closer to your eyesight. So if you wear glasses like me, this is primo to set up so that you can use the camera without your glasses or make it easier to use with your glasses. And you basically look through the viewfinder and you just adjust the diopter until it looks super crispy. I recommend kind of pointing your camera at something with a lot of contrast and half shutter to get the focus, and then adjust it from there. Finally, let's go outside and take some test shots. Make sure you pull these up on your computer and check for focus, color issues, and any dead pixels. If everything is good, then so are you. Get out there and enjoy your new camera. And if you're looking for some creative inspiration, I highly recommend you check out our DIY soft focus filter video. It's linked right here. Did I miss anything? Is there anything that you do when you get a new camera? I'd love to know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please hit subscribe. My name is Eugene and I co-run a photography and video production studio here in Toronto, and we love to share the lessons we learn along the way so you don't have to make as many mistakes as we do. So give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.